establishment at that time, or the empire, or as you say, the Union or whatever. Although, interestingly, an Aberdonian once told me that Union Street in Aberdeen isn't named after the Union of Scotland and England in 1707. It's actually named after the union with Ireland in 1801. So that's something interesting for you to recognise.
Did not know that.
But people don't think Union Street, therefore I'm a unionist. It's just a name, I think, at that stage. And it becomes irrelevant. You can have a subtle effect of drip, drip, drip over a period of time of, as you say, putting Union flags on stuff. But if you're going to do that, it takes many, many years and decades. It doesn't happen in the last few weeks of an election campaign. So they're kind of wasting their time with that one, I think.
Just to bring us full circle, I suppose, back to where we started. You were talking about you going on this austerity tour and the problems with austerity economics. I just wanted to ask you, in your capacity as a businessman rather than as a political activist, what are the effects of austerity on your business?
It comes down to government investment. Even when you're talking about customers that we've got in business that are private, companies that are buying from you, very often if you look at where they're getting their business from, at the end of the day it's coming from the public sector, be it public sector spend on services or on equipment or on infrastructure investment. So if we are supplying into customers, for example, that are building vehicles, then very often they're getting sold to the public sector. So it's very much comes full circle. And pretty much all businesses in the country are influenced to a large extent by the direction and the quantity and the focus of public sector investment, and we shouldn't forget that.
So just by way of finishing up, the little shtick on this podcast, as you know, is that the guest chooses the tune. So what have you got for us this time, Ivan?
Yeah, well, it's another Proclaimers one, and this time it's a song that I hadn't really heard before until quite recently, called Scotland's Story, which I think is a wonderful rebuke to some of the nonsense we hear from people like UKIP, etc. And we shouldn't forget the diversity of this country, and people that come from all corners of the globe to make it what it is, including many of my own ancestors who came from many different parts of the world to end up here over the decades. And it's, as I say, it's really quite a fabulous testimony to where we are and hopefully where we're going as we move forward.
Thanks very much for coming on, Ivan. That's been brilliant.
Thanks very much, Michael. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and hopefully talk to you again soon.
Cheers. So there you go. That was Ivan. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope to record a couple more shows in the next couple of weeks, but just to show the truth in what I always say, that this is an unaligned podcast in that it supports Scottish independence, but we have SNP, we have Greens, we have SSP, we have what you'd call independent independence, I suppose. So today was SNP, but I've actually done a little bit for the Scottish Socialist Party's podcast. Obviously it's not campaigning for them because, to repeat, this is unaligned. What I've actually done is two little pieces for them, talking about the European Union and the pros and cons of it. So you might want to have a listen to that when it comes out as well. I think it's out on Thursday. So that's it for this episode. Here's the song that Ivan was talking about, and I'll speak to you next time.
Michael McGrory from West Donegal. You came to Glasgow with nothing at all. Fought the landlord, then the Africa Corps. When you came to Glasgow with nothing at all. Abraham Kaplan from Vilnius, you came. You were heading for New York, but Leith's where you stayed. You built a great business, it benefits all. Came to this land with nothing at all. In Scotland's Story I read that they came, the Gael and the Pit, the Angle and Dane, but so did the Irishman, Jew and Ukraine. They're all Scotland's story and they're all worth the same. Yeah. Joseph D'Angelo dreams of the days when Italian kids in the grass market played. Burned out his shop when the boys went to war. But old Joe's a big man and he forgave all. In Scotland story I'm told the day came, the Gael and the Pict, the Angle and Dane. But where's all the Chinese and Indian names? They're in my land story and they're all worth the same. Yeah. Ivan McKee, I learned of your name. You travelled south from Delny one day. We raised a whole family in one room, they say. And the X on the line stands in place of your name. So in the old story I'll bet that I came from Gael and Pict and Angle and Dane, and a poor migrant girl who could not write her name. It's a common old story, but it's mine just the same. Yeah. All through the story the immigrants came, the Gael and the Pict, the Angle and Dane, from Pakistan, England and from the Ukraine. We're all Scotland story and we're all worth the same. Your Scotland story is worth just the same.